All right, little homework help here on 6.6 page 428 worksheet. So, starting out number 7, the directions say determine whether the ordered pair is a solution. So, to be a solution, what you have to do in number 7 is, remember, this is X, this is Y, everybody. So you have to put these in. Okay? So everybody ready? Following along? Got their head up and out of their, ready to go? Here we go. So I'm going to take the 12 into this inequality. I'm going to put 12 in for Y. And then over here for X, I'm going to put in 2. And then you have to answer, is 12 greater than, 2 times 2 would be 4, and 4 plus 4 would be 8. Is 12 greater than 8? Yes. Now, here's the issue. It has to work in both of the inequalities. It worked in the first one when I put it in. It made it a true statement. So now I have to put it into this one. So I'm putting it into this one. For Y, I'm going to put in 12, then the less than sign, then 3 times 2 plus 7. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 7 is 13. Is 12 less than 13? Yes. So for this problem, the answer is it is a solution because it works in both. Now what that would mean, we were graphing yesterday, it would mean if I graphed both of these, that this particular one landed in the area that got shaded by both. That it works in both of them. If it only worked in one, then it only worked in one of the areas. It didn't work in both. We would say it's not a solution. It has to be a solution in both. Okay, so let's jump to number 9. Let's try that one. Number 9, we have an X and a Y. I'm going to take the first inequality. I'm going to put in 17. Put the greater than sign. Negative 5 times negative 3 plus 2. A negative times a negative is a positive 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. Is 17 bigger than 17? They're equal, and it doesn't have the little equal sign underneath this, so this one is no. It has to work in both. So since we've already proved it doesn't work in one, can it work in both? No, so this one is not a solution. Now, we can put it in the other one, but we kind of don't need to waste our time. If it works in one, we still have to check the other. But if it doesn't work in one, even if it works in the other, it's not going to be a solution. So now, you should be able to do number 8. Does everybody understand how to do those top ones? Only one left. Okay, but now we're going to go down to the bottom, and we're going to graph number 11. So, number 11, y is less than 2x plus 4. M would be 2 over 1. B would be 4. So I'm going to go up 4, put a dot. Then I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. I can go down 2, back 1, down 2, back 1. I can put all these dots in a line. But what I have to decide is it a dashed line or a solid line? Which one is it? It's dashed because it doesn't have the equal to. Now, if you didn't finish that worksheet yesterday, yesterday's worksheet, question number 5, or the last worksheet we did on 6.6, question number 5 says, how do you know when to use a dashed or a solid line? You have to explain it. Well, if we see the equal sign, we make it solid. If we don't see the equal sign, we make it dashed. It's that simple. That's what you have to explain in words on number 5. So if you haven't finished that worksheet and you're still catching up, make sure you answer that on number 5. But now we have to decide. It's y is less, so we would shade underneath. Now, remember, shade lightly. The solution has to be somewhere down there, but we've got another line to get, another inequality to graph. So this one, I'm going to subtract 2x from each side. In doing that, make sure this is negative y, is less than negative 2x plus 4. Remember, that doesn't somehow get us, like 4 minus 2x isn't 2x because they're not like terms. They both don't have an x on them. All right, so now I'm going to divide by negative 1 everywhere. But when you divide by a negative, dividing or multiplying by negative switches every single sign, and there's 4 signs in there. This sign was negative, it's now positive. This sign switches to a greater than sign. This one becomes positive 2x. This one becomes minus 4. Okay, so we go down to 4 and we put a dot. The slope would be 2 over 1. So again, I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. We recognize at this point those lines are going to be parallel. But is this a solid or a dashed line? Solid. Okay? Now, on the line that I have in black on the board, am I shading above it or below it? I would shade above it, right? Now you have to figure out, where did I shade twice? There's 3 regions now. There's region 1, there's region 2, there's region 3. What region got both the black and the red dots in it? Those. All right. Okay. So that region would be the double shaded. We have one like that on the last worksheet too, that you end up shading in between. We can look at that if you need help on that again today. All right, number 12. Y is greater than 2x plus 4. So M would be 2 over 1. B would be 4. Isn't that the same one? That looks like the same exact problem, doesn't it?
It is the exact same.
Okay, so we're going to skip number 12, I guess, because why are we going to do the same exact one? It's the same exact numbers, right? Yeah, we'll just cross number 12 off. All right. So 13. M is 1/4. B would be 0. There's nothing there, but we got to have a starting point. So since there's no number, that number's got to be 0. So I'm going to go to 0. I'm going to put a dot. Then I'm going to go up 1, right 4. Up 1, right 4. I can go down 1, left 4. Down 1, left 4. I'm going to put a dashed line because it doesn't have the underline. Where will I shade, above or below my green line?
Above.
I'm going to shade above. Now, this time I'm not going to shade. So this time I'm going to keep track. I have to shade above the green line. So what I know is the answer can't be below the green line. Now I'm going to add the red line. M is -1. I'm going to put it over 1. B is 4. I'm going to go up to 4, put a point. Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. This one will be a solid line. Now understand, I had to shade above the green line. I now have 4 regions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 4 places it can be the answers. Because I have to shade above the green line, the answer can't be one of those 2. The answer has to be either 1 or 2. Now looking at the red line, I will shade below the red line. If I shade below the red line, where's the answer? 1, because that's below the red line. So the answer is in area 1. Now you can do that different ways. Okay? Again, if I were to start it out this way, just to not have you be confused, here's my green line. If I shaded above, that would have been the area shaded. If I go at the red line, and I shade below the red line, everything below the red line. But you look for the area that got shaded in red and green, and that's this area. I don't care if you have to shade it every time to get it, but we want to get the right area that gets shaded really, shaded in really well. Is that making more sense? Okay, we can finish the rest of that worksheet and then turn it in either on Classroom or if you're here, you can show me you're done.